I want to discuss a topic. What I've been seeing, and it's about how some women, even in marriage, adapt masculine energy. I'm not talking about how the woman looks. She can look very feminine and still come off super masculine. And what I mean is, I'm seeing a lot of stuff now on social media. I notice a lot of women, specifically, and I'm not saying all, but women that have husbands, boyfriends, or they have a man that, call a partner or whatever. It's like they're talking really down on single women. It's like they have some type of superior complex. They want dominance over the woman by always saying things like, women, if you're not married, you're unhappy, you're bitter, you're unhinged, you're unstable, and that's just not the case. Or if you notice, women that initiate action a lot when it comes to relationships, I noticed that too. Those, to me, action is mostly, that's masculine. That's what men do. But I don't know if y'all ever noticed, but I've even seen this for myself where, say, two masculine energy men are having a conversation and they might not be agreeing. I'm not talking about no knockout, drag out fight, but they may not be agreeing on what the other man is saying. And I noticed the wife or the girlfriend, they step in, they trying to save their husbands or boyfriend from what the other man is saying. And remember, both of these are masculine men. And the woman steps in to try to see what's going on. And then you hear her husband or her boyfriend say, I got this. I got this. You don't need to come over here. I got this. Or, and another example is when, and I have friends like this, where the husband is trying to raise his son or tell his son something, and the mom, she steps in to kind of save the son. To me, that's all masculine energy instead of just letting the husband deal with it. But I just use those as examples. But what I have noticed also is that married women, not all, but women that are married, they are really on single women bad about not being married. And it's crazy how I'm noticing how assertive they is, how dominant the things they say to them online. I wrote a couple of things down. But what I feel like, if you're trying to help younger women to achieve the same goals, younger women, single women, of course, all women don't want to be married, but as a married woman or a woman that have a man or a woman that's getting engaged or have a partner, talking down on single women is not going to make them want to find a husband. If anything, it's like they doing this. They're just not going to listen to you. And I feel like women that are married, they should try to shift back into their feminine energy and stop leading with their masculine energy. So I wrote down some tips myself, how I feel like, even like when I talk to my daughter, I am not married, but, she wants to be married and she's single. But if I was somebody like giving advice as a married woman or somebody with a partner or whatever, I wouldn't talk down on her. I wouldn't call her unhinged or saying she's bitter or any of those negative terms, because that in turns, that makes them not, people like my daughter don't really listen to women, even if they're married, with advice like that. Oh, this light is in my face too bright. So I wrote down some tips. Instead of married women with boyfriends and have partners, Why don't y'all say stuff like, I wrote some of the stuff down, but how about being encouraging to single women? How about being more supportive? How about showing grace? How about giving them good advice on, well, this is how I got a husband, or this is how I got my boyfriend, this is how we had a long-lasting relationship, instead of telling them they're bitter or this is why they don't have no man. How about saying that? How about not be competitive with single women? I noticed that a lot. How about collaborating with single women and try to get them to understand you as a married woman, or you as a long time, have the mate for a long time? How about, try to get them to understand like that? How about shifting back to feminine energy? Because feminine energy comes from within. I wrote that down too. Feminine energy comes from inner security, when you feel confident in your own life. You don't have to diminish and say mean stuff to other women. And I've noticed a lot of that going on online. I'm not going to stay on here too long. I just wanted to express that we have a lot of women, and I'm not saying some single women don't have masculine energy. And like I said, once again, it's not about how the woman looks. She can be very feminine looking and carry masculine energy. But I noticed it's a shift, more of a big shift in their energy. It's more women also have, besides men being masculine, it's a lot of women that's carrying a lot of masculine energy, and it's like they don't know how to shift back into that feminine energy, or they don't want to, because I believe sometimes maybe they don't want to because they was given that role by just maybe, I don't know why they're like that, but I have noticed that, and it's really a turnoff to single women to belittle them, to degrade them, and to say mean things to them. And I feel like if you want to help single women, single younger women on getting married, or get them back on track to even thinking about marriage, you shouldn't say mean stuff to them, or say, oh, they didn't come from some women. I was looking at one of Cam Newton's podcasts, when this woman, she was so in agreement with Cam Newton. It's an old one. It was like a year ago. And she looks really feminine, but his discussion was about boyfriends and stuff he was saying. It didn't have anything to do with a husband. And she started saying, oh, women with women that didn't come from two parents' household don't really have values, morals, or such and such. She just said a lot of stuff, but I just didn't really agree with what she was saying. And she looked very feminine, but it's like she was wanting to do or say anything just to get his attention, or just agree with him, no matter if it was negative towards the woman. And it didn't sound right to me. Well, I'm not gonna be on here long. Comment, like, share, subscribe. Tell me what you think about what I just said. Do you think more women, especially married women, not all, but especially married women, are into their mindset? They're more, look feminine, but they carry more masculine energy. Until next time.